Alaska. How did we ever ride motorcycles to Alaska? We've always had motorcycles. But there's a difference between riding dirt bikes and riding to Alaska. We spent many times where we'd take the family, load up the dirt bikes or the ATVs onto the trailer, and go spend the night somewhere. That was fairly common when our daughter was young. We didn't discover long-distance riding until about 10 years ago. That's when we took a trip, and we were so amazed that we were 80 miles from the house, and all we had were motorcycles. We put our motorcycle luggage on the bed and took pictures of it because we were just so amazed that we were so far from home with just motorcycles. And that makes us laugh now when we think about it. Fast forward throughout the years, and we started doing overnighters in West Virginia. We went down as far as North Carolina and Tennessee, and even made Kentucky and Ohio. And the trips got longer and longer. We decided to tour all the New England states. That was a really big deal for us. That was a long way to go, and we hit every state in New England. It's a great trip. Rode Mount Washington, loved it. Loved Kankamungus Highway, just really beautiful stuff up in New England. 6 years ago, Nova Scotia. Let's go ride Nova Scotia, go to another country and check that out. So went and rode the Cabot Trail around Nova Scotia. Beautiful trip. Next up, Newfoundland. That was a fun one where we had to take a ferry for 16 hours to get to Newfoundland and ride around, just a beautiful place, and then take another 6-hour ferry home from a different part of Newfoundland back to Nova Scotia. Then a couple years ago, we decided to ride out west. Well, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming. That was a great ride till it ended with me hitting a deer while I was doing about 75 miles an hour. Totaled the motorcycle. I managed to stay up, but the deer did enough damage to the bike that the insurance company totaled the bike. But overall, that had been a fantastic trip, and unfortunately the deer cut it short at mile 5,222, but still one of the best trips we've ever done. If you ride an adventure bike in North America, most likely you've thought about going to Alaska. It seems to be the thing to do that everybody dreams about doing, but it's always off in the future. The trip actually started with my wife and I trying to decide what are we going to do for our 30th anniversary trip. We decided we'd go to Glacier National Park, a place that we've been told is just absolutely stunning, and we didn't make it there a couple of years ago when we rode out west, so I thought that'd be a good place to go. So started telling people at work we're going to Glacier National Park. Somebody said, well, if you're going to Glacier, you have to go to Banff. I have no idea what Banff is, never heard of it. So get on Google, look it up, look at the pictures. Yeah, Banff looks like a beautiful place to go, and it's not that far from Glacier, so let's go ahead and do Banff too. So that was the plan. We're going to Glacier, and we're going to Banff. Well, started looking at the map. Banff really isn't all that far from Alaska when you look at the very southern tip of Alaska, It's only about 600 miles away. We're going to ride all the way from Virginia to Banff. It'd be wrong not to just hop over and touch Alaska to say, hey, we rode Alaska, and, you know, just go. Little town of Hyder there, we could go hit Hyder and say, yep, we've ridden Alaska. So, okay, we can do that. It's gonna take a lot of time, but we can make that. We can do Glacier, go to Banff, touch Alaska, head home. Got a plan in place. Started thinking about that plan. Yeah, it doesn't really work. I mean, if we're gonna go touch Alaska, how about if I say it's our 30th anniversary, I actually take 3 weeks off from work and we go ride Alaska. We wouldn't have enough time to get home, but we could go there and ship the bikes home and actually go and ride Alaska. So, okay, change of plans. We'll go to Glacier National Park, we'll go to Banff, we'll go ride around Alaska, and then we'll ship the bikes home. That should be fine. We'll do that. The ride did not get off to a great start. It was very hot and humid when we left. Didn't take long before we hit the border of Pennsylvania and we were into the remnants of Tropical Storm Cindy. It was raining so hard, cars were pulling off. I always wonder what they think as we go zooming by them as they're pulling off because they can't see and two motorcycles go by. We were doing fine, covered in our Gore-Tex gear from head to toe. But what I didn't count on was the Pennsylvania Turnpike. I didn't bring the Easy Pass toll, so had to stop and pay cash because they don't have toll takers now, and their automated toll machines were kind of a nightmare. As we got closer to Pittsburgh, we started seeing lightning. I hate lightning. I don't ride in lightning, so we took the first exit. Decided to go find a Subway where we could get some Wi-Fi and see what the weather was going to be. As we were riding through town heading to Subway, a tornado warning popped up on the GPS screen. Okay, that's enough. Time to stop. I don't like lightning. I really don't like tornadoes on a motorcycle. Time to find a place for the night. The next day was absolutely gorgeous. Weather was perfect. Visibility was great. We felt good. Just got on the highway, rode from Pittsburgh to Iowa. It's a very easy ride. If I hadn't lost my credit card in Illinois, we probably could have gone farther in Iowa. One of my favorite things about long distance riding is all the people you meet along the way. In Illinois, we met a guy who was asking me questions about Bigfoot in Virginia, and he was very sincere. In Burlington, Iowa that night, we met an older couple who lived in Burlington all their life. They were happy to tell us about their town, told us we had to go to Snake Alley to check out this very unique twisty road that claims to be more twisty than Lombard Street. And, you know, I've never been to Lombard Street, but I can see it's very twisty. Once again, we ended up meeting a couple of guys who were tremendously helpful when Sherry accidentally dropped her bike. My fault, not hers. I didn't give her a place to stop, and she went over.
Yeah, I just was my best.
And immediately there were two guys there,
Yep,
picked up
I'm
the bike
good.
before I could even get off my
I'm
bike.
good. I just tipped over. Oh no, it's too heavy, guys. Oh. Thank you so much. Yep, I just put my foot down and slipped.
Well, that Britain slip, you know.
They helped us get it to where it needed to be and told us about the road, told us about town. The people you meet are just
Slopes that way, and I
fantastic.
put my foot down and my foot slipped on a pebble or something and whoop. Crash bars do a great job.
I was worried about your leg being pinned underneath one of them pegs. That would hurt.
Well, I'm glad you were here. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Just
so
wanna
much.
comment,
Appreciate
that's
it.
a long ride for such a short ride. Virginia. You guys are
Heading to Alaska.
really? And you guys found out about this?
We were in a restaurant last night, and the local was telling us, so you're going to come check this out. And I'm glad he did.
Here in town?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to take a picture of the history of why it was made.
Oh, excellent idea.
You know why it was made?
Why are horses